15 things you didn't know about Google. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome to another exciting original video presented by Alux.com. Today we're revealing some interesting and surprising facts about the search engine and technology company that over 1 billion people rely on every day. Of course, we're talking about Google, the company with the most visited website in the world. Google Inc. is now a multinational technology company that offers a wide variety of internet-related services and products. But in 1998, it started as an idea that 2 Stanford PhD students had for improving the web search process. Larry Page and Sergey Brin incorporated Google as a privately held company on September 4, 1998. After initially trying to sell their company with no success, they both decided to take Google public with an IPO in 2004 and committed to staying with the company through to at least 2024. They also established a headquarters called the Googleplex in Mountain View, California. Google soared in popularity and is now used worldwide by over 1 billion people daily. In 2015, Google announced its plans to reorganize its interests in a conglomerate called Alphabet Inc., which is now valued at around $500 billion. We know that Google has acquired numerous companies and expanded well beyond its search engine capabilities. Some of the services Google now offers includes Gmail, Google Translate, Google Calendar, Google Maps, Google Chrome, Google Drive, and Google+. As of 2016, Google has 70 offices in more than 40 countries, and the brand itself is worth over $100 billion. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. We're inspired by Google's ambition, incredible success, and innovative spirit, and we know many Aluxers out there who couldn't imagine a world without it. So, let's take a closer look with these 15 facts you didn't know about Google. Number 1. Its original name was Backrub. Larry Page and Sergey Brin originally settled on the name Backrub for their search engine because their program analyzed backlinks to understand how important a website was and what other sites it related to. The name lasted about a year until they began brainstorming new names that would reflect just how much data they were indexing, which leads to the next fact. Number 2. Google's name comes from the mathematical term Google. Google's name came from the mathematical term Googol, which is a number that is a 1 with 100 zeros following it. When Page and his office mates at Stanford began tossing around ideas for the name, a graduate student named Sean Anderson suggested the word Googleplex, which Page then shortened to Google, spelled G-O-G-O-L. When Anderson went to check if that domain name had been taken, he accidentally searched for Google, G-O-O-G-L-E, instead, and Page decided that that would be the name. He registered the domain on September 15, 1997. In case you're wondering, a Googleplex is the digit 1 followed by a Google zeros. Number 3. The original I'm Feeling Lucky option cost Google up to $110 million per year. Thanks to Google Instant, the original I'm Feeling Lucky option has been changed since now Google starts narrowing down search results as soon as you start typing in the search box. But another reason why Google may have decided to change this option is that it was costing the company up to $110 million per year since it bypassed ads to take the searcher to the top result immediately. Number 4. The first Google Doodle was inspired by Burning Man. Google has introduced more than 2,000 Google Doodles on their homepage to celebrate holidays, people, events, and achievements. The first Google Doodle was a Burning Man stick figure that founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin had added to the homepage while they were at the Burning Man Festival in Nevada in August of 1998. They wanted a creative way to let users know that they would be away and unable to handle any technical issues. Number 5. Google made an agreement with NASA in exchange for a private runway. When Google needed a place to land their multiple private planes, including a Boeing 767, a Boeing 757, and 2 Gulfstream Vs, they decided to approach their Silicon Valley neighbor, NASA, with a unique proposition. In exchange for exclusive runway rights, Google gives NASA permission to use their planes to test scientific equipment and collect data. Google gives NASA $1.3 million a year as a part of this agreement as well. In 2008, Google also signed a 40-year deal to lease 42 acres from NASA at a cost of $3.66 million per year in order to build a new Googleplex headquarters. Number 6. Google owns common misspellings of its own name. Google has made a point to buy the domain names of common misspellings of their site, such as www.google.com with an extra O, www.google.com with one O, and www.google with GOOGLR.com. Number 7. Google rents goats to mow the lawn of their headquarters. Google is a green community that is concerned about the environment, and one of the unique ways they hope to lessen their carbon footprint is by renting goats to mow their lawn. Every now and then, the company rents 200 goats for a week at a time to trim their lawn, eat the weeds, and clear out some of the brush. Number 8. The founders weren't happy when Google was added to the dictionary. In 2006, the Merriam-Webster and Oxford English dictionaries included the definition for Google for the first time, but the heads of Google weren't particularly excited about it. In a blog post, the company said, "We'd like to make it clear that you should please only use Google when you're actually referring to Google Inc. and our services." Reportedly, the Google founders were concerned because they had a brand to respect and were afraid that the word Google would slip from the trademark status into common usage. Number 9. There are over 2.3 million Google searches per second. According to the 2016 stats, there are over 100 billion Google searches per month, with an average of 2.3 million Google searches per second. There are over 2 trillion searches annually, up considerably from 1999, when they first reported 1 billion annual searches. Number 10. Jeff Bezos was one of the first investors in Google. Google received their first amount of funding in 1998, before the company was incorporated. The very first investment was $100,000 given by Andy Bechtolsheim, who is the co-founder of Sun Microsystems. Later that same year, Amazon.com founder Jeff Bezos was among 3 angel investors that got in early on funding the future $100 billion company. If you want to find out more about the Amazon.com founder, click on the upper right-hand corner to check out our video of 15 things you didn't know about Jeff Bezos. Number 11. Stanford holds the patent for Google's PageRank algorithm. Stanford University is a prestigious school, and several successful companies like Cisco, Hewlett-Packard, Yahoo, and of course Google were started by Stanford students. Stanford stands to gain a lot by encouraging innovation because, by law, any discovery or invention that was made with Stanford resources belongs to Stanford, not their inventor. This is why Stanford owns the patent for PageRank, the central algorithm that Google relies on. Google made an arrangement with Stanford to gain exclusive rights to the patent technology in exchange for 1.8 million shares of Google. The university sold these shares in 2005 for $336 million. Number 12. Google was fined $2.7 billion for violating antitrust laws. In January 2017, Google was fined a record $2.7 billion by European Union regulators for manipulating their search results. The regulators found that Google denied users a genuine choice by unfairly favoring their own shopping platform in search results, which violated EU antitrust laws. The $2.7 billion represented just over 2.5% of Google's 2016 revenue. Google denied the charges and said they were looking at appeal options. The previous highest antitrust fine was $1.2 billion, imposed on Intel in 2009, and Intel is still trying to overturn that decision in 2017. Number 13. You can set your Google language to Klingon, Elmer Fudd, and other unique options. If you go to the search settings on the Google homepage, you'll see that Google is available in a wide variety of the world's languages. But you'll also find a few very unique options that might surprise you. You can change your language settings to Klingon, Elmer Fudd, and Pirate, for example. Number 14. Yahoo, AltaVista, and Excite all declined to buy Google for $1 million. The founders of Google were not really interested in running their own business, so they decided to try to sell the company back in 1999. They approached a company called Excite to see if they would be interested in purchasing Google for $1 million, but the CEO declined the offer. He also declined to buy the company at a lowered price of $750,000. Google also approached Yahoo and AltaVista in 1998, but both companies declined to pay $1 million for the startup. In 2002, Yahoo again declined an offer to buy Google for $5 billion and instead made a counteroffer for $3 billion, which was turned down. 15 years later, the Google brand is worth over $100 billion. Number 15. Google replaced Apple as the most valuable brand in the world in 2017. Apple has held the top spot on the list of the most valuable brands in the world since 2011, but Google was able to take that spot from them in 2017. Google's monetary value increased 24% from the previous year to a total of $109.5 billion in 2016, and Apple's monetary value dropped from $145.9 billion to $107.1 billion in 2016. This allowed Google to come in first, but only by $2.4 billion. And here's your question of the day. Now that you've learned more about Google, we'd like to know, how much do you use Google every day? Let us know in the comments. Still here? Here's a bonus fact just for you. Google bought YouTube in 2006 for $1.65 billion. The negotiations only took a week, and the deal was made when executives from Yahoo, Google, and YouTube met at a Denny's restaurant in Palo Alto, California. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.